What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing another one of our versus squad builder series, lads. If you guys could leave a like, that would be greatly appreciated. These videos do take quite a while to make in terms of like editing, breaking them down, and watching back over the footage before going and making a decision. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the intro. Now we are going to get on to the squads. So we are going to have the best Galaxy Opals in the game, in my opinion, and we are going to be comparing the best Galaxy Opals to the worst Dark Matter cards. I reckon there are probably a couple in the worst Dark Matter that you might say, maybe they shouldn't be there, but I think we're close to making the right squad. Maybe 1 to 2 different additions, but yeah. So anyway, now let's get on to who we picked. So for the best pink diamond at the point guard position, we went with Wes. Unseld, 6'7" point guard. He's got a handle, he can shoot the ball. He's got 47 huffs, which again is a crazy amount of Hall of Fame badges. And again, good height, like 6'7". That's what you want out of a point guard, at least at this stage. Again, maybe you don't want them to be too tall, and you'll see in the game, whether it be my bench or my starters, all I just did was abuse Kristaps Porzingis and Bol because they're too small, they're too tall to play defense, and I just ran by them the entire game. Those guys, if you know what you're doing against those guys, they can be liabilities in the defensive end, because their speed without the ball is super slow. It's one thing I learned from the Manute Bol versus Manute Bol matchups, where you can just run around. If you've got Kristaps or you got Bol on you, and you're using a Kristaps or a Bol, because you get super speed while you have the ball, they get slower when they were without it. 6'7", again, ideal height for a point guard though. Wes, absolutely elite in my opinion. So at the 2, we have Gosh. This is a bit of a tough one because there are a couple of good guys we were going to run at the 2. I was considering running Terrence Ross, but then I forgot this guy exists. So Cliff. It's Cliff, and it's a no-brainer. 11,000 MT. He had some crazy defensive possessions. Like, defensively, he's unbelievable. If you can get his release down, he is unbelievable at everything else. His shooting's fantastic. Rebounding, his defense, his movement, everything about Cliff Robinson is absolutely fantastic. One of easily the top 30 players in my team. You could argue him. I think maybe you could argue him higher, but like, I probably wouldn't. I'm not sure if that's the correct place, but yeah, definitely a great player. Then we have got at the small forward position, we have got the Galaxy Opal, definitely not small forward. We have got Tony Kukoc. Now this one's debatable because there's a lot of guys that are really good at the small forward position that are Galaxy Opals. But man, Tony Kukoc for me, Tony Kukoc is just, man, he's just different. He's just different on this gen. You'll see it, he scored a ton of points in the game. He's an elite shooter. His rim running is really solid. His defense, again, more than solid. Gets pretty much every key Hall of Fame badge. It's 43 of them. And again, this guy came out in Season 6. In that awful Season 6. He's been in the game for so long, and he's still absolutely elite in this game. Like, good in the post, great shooter, really great dunker. He's got really good defense and super good speed and lateral quickness. So again, a fantastic card here in Tony Kukoc. And then obviously Danny Ferry, a power forward. I think that's an obvious one. We all know how much I like Danny Ferry. We all know that I still think he's one of the best cards in the game. And you can see there, 150 games, 148 games started. 30, yeah, he's got 35 huffs, not as many as Kukoc, but man, Ferry's better. Base 90 and very quick. Elite at everything. Good driving, good ball handle, great defensive stats, great speed. And Man, this card is absolutely insane. And then at the center position, a lot of people might think, oh, I would choose Mirasan, but nah, Mirasan's not Wiseman. You could maybe put Mirasan in center, Wiseman power forward. That might have actually worked a little bit better, but Wiseman's better. Curry base, 41 huffs. Elite shooter. Superb ball handle. He's got 85 fade, 85 post hook, 90 driving dunk, 86 ball handle, 90 block, 85 perimeter defense, 93 sweeps with ball acceleration, 89 lateral. Like, again, absolutely insanely good card. So yeah, that is what we have for the best Galaxy Opal squad in my opinion. Now let's get on to the highlights.
I keep God first. I see evil when I converse. Not today, say. This how God works. Play my position, what is given with no concerns. Go. Set it off. Top of the morning, I'm gonna set it off. You living boring, I'm gonna set it off. Shooting, I'm scoring, I'm gonna set it off. Like soldiers torn, I'm gonna set it off. Son of God, no, I am not son of man. Blessings keep falling, the fingers keep coming in. I got you, but just know I'm texting like Uncle Sam. Left to the bank, you know that I'm coming in. We don't do it for the bands though, we don't do it for the clout. Legacy on the line, so I'm moving in and out. Seen good ones turn top dog, greedy ones.
Guys, so now we are going to go on to the worst not pink diamonds. It's not 2K18 anymore, it's 3 years later. Worst dark matters. At the point guard position, there is one guy that I just wouldn't get, and it's Louis Dampier. Louis Dampier belongs somewhere on this list, but point guard, Trae Young. Man, Trae Young stinks. Trae Young, 6'1", 37 hoffs, 18 golds. He's got half range extender. Again, a bunch of decent Hall of Fame badges. He's got 98 3 ball. He's got a really solid pass stats, didn't really matter. Steal, not great. Perimeter defense, not even great. Great speed, pretty good lateral, but again, he's 6'1". At the 2. So this was a tough one because 2 guards. I like the Van Aardales and I like J.R. Smith. I can't put either of them in there. I was looking through and there was like a lot of players at around the same level. So I went with the player that I like is released the least, Steve Nash. Steve Nash, very, very solid player. Not great, not terrible. Again, 52 huffs. Problem is, he's only 6'3", and I don't think his release. I'm probably the least comfortable with him than all of like the dunking, super fast point guards that are 6'3". There's a whole bunch of them. I'm probably least comfortable with Steve Nash, and he probably does make the worst team. Small forward. Now this was a tough one because there's a lot of pretty okay guys to run a small forward. And there's a lot of weak guys around small forward. But one player that I've never liked when I used him. I've never liked Larry Keenan. I've used him a few times. He never did much. 6'9", 45 hoffs. I've used him on a few different accounts. I've used him on my own account quite a bit. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's only goal range. I don't like the release too much. His post game's alright. His 3 ball's kind of non-existent. Everything else is brilliant. His defense is brilliant. But he doesn't seem to get he's not there's just something off with him. And in my opinion, he's definitely what should be the best player on the Dark Matter team. You could definitely argue someone else in for him. There are a lot of guys you could argue maybe should be in for instead of Larry Keenan, but I don't rate him that highly. Power forward, I mean, it's got to be Elvin Hayes. He can't shoot it at all. He cannot shoot the ball at all. And if we're looking at Dark Matters, like that is a big deal at this stage. Yeah, if you want to put like Taco in, but again, Taco's just a cheese ball, especially on this gen. But he's got only an 83 ball. He's undersized for his position. I don't like his player build, and I don't know. I just feel like there are like legitimately diamonds that play better in game Hayes. Like he should be all right. Like there's no reason why he's this bad. His stats are good. It's just in game. He's definitely usable. He's definitely a million times better than Trae Young, but I still don't rate him. At the center position, this one again was a tough one because Mel Daniels I still think is weak at this stage, but it's Nurkic. You got to put Nurkic in there. Yusuf Nurkic, The only difference between this and the pink diamond is that this card has his card art has spit coming out of his mouth. Only 32 hops, but again, decent to post. He's actually got moderately good speed and 84 lateral, which isn't great, but he's not good at all. He's not good at all. So anyway, now on to the highlights.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up, I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number 1 up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up, I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest.
So that was a bit of a weird game. He went to overtime. I'm not going to count the overtime because I went out with the just all Galaxy Opal team and just trolled because I really couldn't care less. Again, I'm not going 12-0. My opponent probably was, so I was just literally shooting step back fadeaways at Cliff Robinson for most of overtime. And yeah, we managed to bring it to overtime, and both teams were +0. Both teams were +0 against one of the best teams in the game that the other guy was running. So we're going to break these down in 5 categories. Defense, rebounding, shooting, team offense, and star power. Because at the end of the day, if it is tied, normally the best individual player goes and wins it. So let's talk defense. There is only one team that you can argue on defense, and it's the top team. It is the Galaxy Opals. You've got Ferry, who played elite defense. You've got Cliff Robinson, who plays unbelievable defense. Wes isn't a bad defender. You don't have to hide Trae Young and Steve Nash at the same time, with Nurkic being mediocre at best. Again, we were +0 because he hit like 4 heavies against the Galaxy Opal lineup. So that is a big reason for that. To be fair, we did hit a flick up on him, so it's not... well, I was about to say it evens out, but like we hit 1, he hit about 5. But defensively, no question about it. The amount of big defensive plays that the Pink Diamond squad or the Opal squad made compared to the very few the Dark Matter squad made. Defense, no brainer, goes to Dark Matter squad. Or say not Dark Matter, the Galaxy Opal squad. So now we have got rebounding. And this was a weird one, because my opponent didn't miss that much. So it's hard to tell. And we also shot 90% in regulation. We did shoot 90% in regulation, so I can't even judge offensive rebounding. But Wiseman's a bit weak on the boards. I do rate Ferry very highly on the boards, but Elvin Hayes and Larry Keenan do crash. Your guards don't really matter too much in terms of rebounding. I don't feel like it anyway. Guards get weird rebounds, whether they're 6'10 or 6'3. They just... Well, the only time a guard will get a rebound is if it lands in his hands, where height doesn't really matter too much. So I'm going to say... I'm going to give the advantage... I'm going to give Dark Matter a point. I'll give Dark Matter a point. Shooting... I mean, I think I got like 3 of 6 in that game from 3. Or 2 of 6... Maybe 3 of 6 in that game from 3. And one of them was the only 3-pointer I hit with the bench lineup was the flick up on the buzzer. Whereas I'm very confident shooting with Wes, Kukoc, Danny Ferry, or Wiseman. On the bench lineup, I'm barely confident with Nash, and I'm not confident with anyone else. So shooting, no brainer, goes to the Galaxy Opal lineup. Team offense, just what they can do overall. That is, again, that's a tough one, because I just rim ran with both teams. I think, I don't know, maybe the fact that I didn't have to rim run. Like in the first quarter, I did a little bit more than rim running. I did a bit of driving kick and stuff, whereas I literally just rim around with Nurkic / Alvin Hayes for the entire game with the bench lineup. So I'll give advantage to the OPAL lineup, but that game is hard to judge anything by. And last up, star power. Danny Ferry versus, I don't know, Nurkic. Like Nurkic, he was the star of that team. He scored 24 points for that bench lineup, and Ferry went 9 to 10. But like this is a no-brainer. Like obviously OPAL wins no matter what, and it's a no-brainer. I'm not giving Nurkic to win over anyone, even though funnily enough in that game, not on current gen, the best card on the bench lineup is Larry Keenan. On current gen offensively, the best card is Steve Nash, but on next gen offensively, the best card by a mile is Nurkic, because you can literally just do the pullback and speed boost by tall players, which is most centers at this stage. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. The winner is quite obviously the Galaxy OPAL squad. Although it seems the scores did not show it, the Galaxy OPAL team is a far, far superior team, even though it was both 0. And it does show, like, one team is far superior to the other, and both teams were still even. And it does show that even if you are using lower level players, like, I'm not going to say that the Dark Matters were anywhere close to being as good as those Galaxy OPALs. But at the end of the day, like, they were tied against some of the best players in the game, which my opponent had. So at the end of the day, if you aren't good enough, if you're good enough in the game, you can pretty much survive with anybody. As you guys saw me surviving in a game, rim running with Nurkic for the whole time against Porzingis and Bill Russell. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.